work going on in my life.
Right.
And one night, I think I'd reached that end of the rope. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of living that lifestyle. I was tired of going through the same emotions, hanging out with the same people, getting the same results. So eventually, one night, the Lord put his hand on my shoulder.
Come on, bro.
In the bedroom.
Come on, bro.
Where I was living. And I'm going to tell y'all, I went to my knees in that room. And the Lord had his hand on my shoulder. And as my eyes were closed, there was a puddle of water around me. And that puddle of water were the tears that Jesus had shed for me.
Wow.
And at that point, that was a turning point in my life right there, because right after that I was locked up. And at first I was angry I was locked up, but then I learned to realize that that was God's saving grace.
Wow.
That was the moment. That was the turning point in my life. So I went to RSAP, and from that point, I did my 9 months there, and I got out. I didn't know where I was going. Mom told me I could come back for a couple of weeks. I stayed there. And I went on to the internet. I found Coming Home Ministries, transitional housing.
Okay.
And I read what their mission statement was. And I said, you know, this sounds like this is where I need to be. And I prayed about it. And I came in, I talked to Pastor Case at that time. And everything lined up. I was able to go to my aftercare classes, which was where my community service was at, which was walking distance from the house.
Wow.
AA was across the street where I needed to be. You know, when it's from God, the doors open up.
Wow.
And everything surrounded itself around this ministry. Now, I've been in this ministry for three and a half years, almost 4 years into this year.
Wow.
And I came through here just like these guys. I'm able to relate to them, and I'm able to share with them what God's done in my life and is doing in my life, and what he can do for them if we will get out of the way.
And Greg, I know you do a lot of work in Forsyth County, and when you see stories like this, you know, of folks here who have that kind of work ethic, you know, that faith behind them, but what Forsyth County means, you've seen a lot of stuff, but what do you think about Mike here? I mean,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. What do you think, sir?
It's amazing. I think about Psalm 40, you know, where David talks about he was in a pit and he waited patiently for the Lord, and God inclined and heard his cry and lifted him out of the muck and out of the miry clay. And addiction has impacted my family. YG knows the stories. I think it's amazing the way that God redeemed you and restored you, and now he's propelled you to be really a source of faith and encouragement to other people. That's the power of the gospel, and it's the power of chains falling off of you.
Yes.
And the way that God breaks chains of addiction, chains of abuse, chains of poverty, and allows you to step into his freedom, to be an example and a light to other people is so encouraging to me. You live this in your life every day. You didn't mention this in this video, but YG was homeless as well in his past. And so for both you men to be such an encouragement to other men, it takes humility to be able to tell your story, because you're admitting, you know, you're exposing weaknesses in your past and in your life, but it's in your